Okay, so you know that feeling you get when the days start getting shorter?
Mhm.
Like that sluggishness?
Yeah.
And you just want to eat more.
Yeah.
Like your body's already get ready
going.
for hibernation.
Yeah, it's like our bodies are
Yeah.
already kind of prepping for winter.
Yeah. And with daylight saving time, like right around the corner.
Right.
It's like we're all about to get a crash course in like adjusting to those like darker evenings.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a change in like the amount of daylight we're getting though, right?
Right.
Like our internal clocks.
Yes.
Like all those intricate systems that regulate our sleep and our hormones and our energy levels, they're like deeply intertwined with the sun's rhythms.
Yes, it's like somebody took our bodies, which are like these finely tuned instruments,
Yeah.
and just like changed the key signature without giving us the new sheet music.
Totally. I love that analogy.
But this year, instead of just like enduring the time change,
Yeah.
what if we could actually use it to like our advantage?
Yeah.
We've got a fascinating YouTube video here
Okay.
called How to Adjust to Daylight Savings Time and Shifting Rhythms.
Okay.
And the host, Sandy Freschi, along with our guest, Amanda,
Mm-hmm.
delve into some really interesting strategies
I'm intrigued.
for not only like handling the shift,
Mm-hmm.
but like actually using it to like
Yeah.
to improve our lives in a way.
So one of the most fundamental concepts I think they highlight is this idea of the circadian rhythm,
Okay.
which is essentially our internal master clock.
Yes.
And it's really fascinating how much influence this like natural rhythm has over our physical and mental well-being.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I always think about it like this.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how your cat
Okay.
just like knows when it's dinner time?
Yes.
Like no matter what the clock says,
The cat is definitely not checking its watch.
they just know.
Right.
And you're right.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of how ingrained these circadian rhythms are.
Totally.
The problem is when we constantly disrupt this natural rhythm,
Yeah.
like we do with daylight saving time,
Exactly.
it can throw our bodies and minds out of whack.
For sure.
And it's not just about feeling a little tired.
Right.
Like the video talks about how chronic disruption of our circadian rhythm
Mm-hmm.
is linked to like some pretty serious health issues down the line,
Yes.
even things like heart problems.
Exactly. Our bodies thrive on consistency.
Right.
And when we're constantly messing with our sleep-wake cycles,
Yes.
it's like we're sending these like mixed signals to our system.
It's no wonder we feel that like brain fog
Right.
as the days get shorter.
Yes.
Sandy and Amanda talk about sunlight starvation
Mm-hmm.
and how it like directly impacts our mental clarity.
Yeah, it's like our brains go on standby mode when they're not getting enough of those good vibes from the sun.
Totally.
And there's a fascinating physiological reason for that, too.
Okay.
Like, sunlight actually triggers the production of serotonin in our brains,
Mm-hmm.
which is a key player in regulating mood,
Yeah.
sleep,
Right.
even appetite. And then there's the pineal gland, this
Right.
tiny little gland
Yes.
nestled deep within the brain,
Okay.
which plays a crucial role in all of this.
The pineal gland, that's the one that's often called the third eye, right?
Exactly. That's the
Nice.
one. It's often associated with intuition and spiritual insight
Right.
in various traditions.
Okay.
And from a purely scientific standpoint, it's responsible for producing melatonin, the
Yeah.
hormone that helps regulate our sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
Sunlight actually inhibits melatonin production,
Interesting.
which is why we naturally feel more alert during the day.
Makes sense.
So when we're not getting enough sunlight, our melatonin production can get out of whack,
Okay.
which then messes with our sleep,
Right.
which then impacts our mood and energy levels.
It's like a domino effect.
It is a domino effect.
Right.
Andy and Amanda actually offer some really tangible tips in the video for navigating this time change
Okay.
and like supporting our bodies and minds through the process.
Okay, I'm all ears. What do they suggest?
Well, first and foremost,
Okay.
they emphasize the importance of like sticking to a consistent sleep schedule
Okay.
as much as possible, even with that extra hour of daylight.
So no staying up late just because the clock says we can.
Exactly. Remember, our bodies crave consistency.
Right.
And trying to outsmart our internal clocks
Yeah.
will only backfire in the long run.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else could we do to like help our bodies adjust?
They also highlight the importance of getting outside
Okay.
for at least a few minutes each day.
Okay.
Even if it's cloudy,
Okay.
exposure to natural light, especially in the morning,
Right.
helps regulate our circadian rhythm and boost our mood.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. Getting a little like fresh air and sunshine
Yeah.
always makes a difference.
Totally.
Especially when it feels like winter is like closing in. Are there any other like simple tweaks we can make to our routine?
Absolutely. They suggest adding just 10 or 15 minutes to your sleep schedule during the transition,
Right.
allowing your body to adjust more gradually.
Wow.
Think of it as like a mini hibernation period.
I love that they emphasize working with our natural rhythms rather than against them.
Yeah.
It's like we often forget that our bodies are like incredibly intelligent and adaptable.
Yes.
And if we just listen to the cues, it makes the whole process so much smoother.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of listening to our bodies, there's a section in the video where Sandy leads a visualization exercise.
Okay.
Focused on the pineal gland.
Oh, okay.
Which I found absolutely fascinating.
Yes. That visualization is a wonderful way to connect with the concepts we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Sandy encourages listeners to visualize their pineal gland as a beautiful, radiant quartz crystal.
Okay. That imagery is really resonating with me.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how does that quartz crystal imagery relate to the pineal gland?
Well, quartz crystals are known for their clarity and their ability to hold and transmit light.
Right.
They're also believed in many spiritual traditions to amplify energy.
Okay.
It's a powerful metaphor for the pineal gland,
Right.
which, as we discussed, is so sensitive to light and plays a vital role in regulating our energy levels.
That's a really beautiful way to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's not just about visualizing any object.
Right.
It's about tapping into the specific energetic qualities of a quartz crystal and how they relate to our own, like, inner landscape.
Precisely. And in the visualization, Sandy guides you to gently cleanse this crystal.
Okay.
Imagining it becoming clear and radiant.
Okay.
Allowing its natural brilliance to shine through.
It's like we're clearing away any like energetic cobwebs or blockages that might be dimming our inner light. I imagine this would be a really like grounding and empowering practice to do, especially during this time of year when we might be feeling a bit like depleted or out of sorts.
You hit the nail on the head. It's about reclaiming our power.
Yes.
Remembering that we have this incredible capacity for self-healing and renewal. And that even when the external world feels chaotic or out of balance, we can always come back to this place of inner stillness and clarity.
I love that. And it ties in beautifully with the idea of using this time of year for introspection and self-reflection.
Exactly.
Instead of fighting the urge to hibernate.
Yes.
We can lean into it.
Yes.
Creating space for rest, rejuvenation, and maybe even a little bit of soul searching.
Exactly. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful shifts happen. Not when we're pushing and striving, but when we allow ourselves to slow down.
Yes.
Tune inward and listen deeply to the wisdom of our own bodies and intuition.
It's like we're being given this cosmic permission slip to hit the pause button, recharge our batteries, and emerge from this period of introspection. Feeling refreshed, aligned, and ready to take on whatever comes next.
I love it.
It's funny how we often view this time of year as like a winding down, you know?
Yeah.
When in reality, it can be an incredible opportunity for growth and renewal.
Right.
Just like nature itself.
It's a different kind of growth, though, right? Like more internal, more about like laying the groundwork for what we want to cultivate in our lives.
Yes.
Which reminds me, Sandy and Amanda posed a really thought-provoking question towards the end of the video.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They asked us to consider what seeds we might want to plant within ourselves during this period of like inward focus.
Exactly.
I love that analogy.
Me too. It's so evocative. Like instead of just getting through this seasonal transition, what if we approached it with intention?
Yes.
Asking ourselves, what qualities, habits, or experiences do we want to nurture within ourselves?
It's like we're being given this incredible opportunity to like consciously choose what we want to cultivate in our lives.
Yes.
Do we want to prioritize more presence, more creativity, a deeper sense of connection?
Right.
Like what seeds will we choose to water with our time and energy?
And I think that's such a powerful reminder that even though we might not have control over the external world, like the shorter days, the weather, the inevitable holiday frenzy, we always have a choice about how we show up for ourselves, how we cultivate our inner world.
It's about recognizing that even amidst the darkness, we have this incredible inner light, you know, that can guide us, nourish us, and help us blossom in like unexpected ways.
Yes.
This deep dive has like completely changed my perspective on daylight saving time.
Really?
Instead of dreading it.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling quite excited about the possibilities it holds.
That's awesome.
You know, it's a chance to like reconnect with myself,
Yeah.
explore those quiet corners of my inner world,
Yeah.
and set some powerful intentions for the months ahead.
I love
And
that.
who knows, maybe by embracing this time of inward reflection,
Yeah.
we might just surprise ourselves with the insights and inspiration we uncover.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
amazing how a shift in perspective
Right.
can completely transform our experience.
It really is.
Mm.
Well, on that note of embracing the cycles, honoring our energy, and planting seeds of intention,
Yes.
we're going to wrap up this deep dive.
A huge thank you to Sandy Freschi and Amanda for the insightful conversation and the practical tools for not just surviving, but truly thriving during this time of change.
And thank you, dear listener, for joining us on this journey inward.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.